And welcome in once again, broadcasting live from Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama tonight. I'm Tim Melton. It's our distinct honor here on the Warrior Nation Network to deliver to you the most important 2025 edition of the Lowe's Warrior Game Day Show, presented by Wayne Davis Construction, powered by JP Builders. Before we introduce you to our full panel, we'd like to remind you to never consider another construction project or renovation without calling Wayne Davis Construction, powered by JP Builders. Proud sponsors of the Thompson Warriors and this Lowe's Warrior Game Day Show, Wayne Davis Construction is poised to help serve their customers. To learn more about how Wayne Davis Construction can help with your project, call today at 205-365-1947. I find myself honored to be here in a championship environment once again with the voice of the Warriors. That's Matthew Moyer. Matthew,
Tim,
I've come to learn that if we are ever in Birmingham together on a Wednesday night in the month of December with more Thompson Warrior football yet to be played, then that means the year has once again been a very special one. How much of a blessing is it to be here at Protective Stadium tonight as we continue to share this team's journey with so many loyal fans?
Well, he tries to get me in tears right out of the gate.
Go ahead,
but
it's
it's an incredible blessing. When you look at the two seasons that I've had the honor of being a part of, and you look at the way that those seasons mapped out, almost mirror images of one another. And here we are again, about to kick off the 8th straight 7A state championship game. It's an incredible blessing. It really is, and I hope that the Warrior family feels that as well.
Matthew, you know me as someone who values transparency, and it seems many have Thompson as the favorite here tonight. It certainly feels to me that some very vocal doubters of this team have had to maybe put down the turkey and instead eat some crow over the holiday break. You and I both know that when you've had this unprecedented level of success, like this Thompson program has had over the last decade, you're sure to attract some haters. This is a program, though, that has used the doubt from those outside voices as fuel.
No doubt about it. You know, and I think we've talked about it a myriad of times. Is there a coaching staff? Is there a fan base? And is there a team, if you had poker chips and you had to play them, that you'd put them on over the Thompson November and December? This is what this coaching staff, led by head coach Mark Freeman, this is what they gear themselves towards. Everything that they do, 365 days a year, gears themselves for that Wednesday in December. They're right there on the mountain again.
I would like to now introduce our Warrior Nation Network in-game analyst. That is Brian Pavlik. What a success as an athletic program just to be back here in this spot tonight.
Well, this is my first time here, so let me enjoy this a little bit. Being with you guys on the second floor of a press box, as somebody once sang, 6 people in a tiny studio, I believe the lyrics went, Jim. But what does this mean? I mean, your question, just as a fan, I mean, remember, I was a fan a year ago. I was sitting out there in these very seats before the rainstorm. If you remember, there was a 15-minute shower or something that soaked everything, and all of a sudden you beat Central 21-7 for what was your 7th appearance, and then it was your 6th overall championship, 5 in 6 years or whatever it was. So now to be up here and to watch the team, like you said, Matthew, very eerily similar to last year. Last year, just a total of 3 points were the losses in 3 games. This year, 7. Same team, same kind of journey, but you had to go on the road to Central in what now has been viral clipped all over with the hit by Junior James to save the season. We've dissected it. We talked about it. All that was a semifinal win. You've got one more, and you've got a hungry dog nation from Opelika that is here tonight.
Let's talk about them, Brian. The Bulldogs have played in a championship game twice before, in 2016 and 2012 in Class 6A under former coach Brian Blackman, but have never secured a state title. How much of an advantage do you believe Thompson's run of 8 straight Class 7A title appearances is going to be here tonight?
You'll hear a little bit more about this in our keys to the game, but you cannot rely on experience alone. You have to treat this as a fresh game, because just like this is the first time Opelika has made it to the Super 7, this is the first time that a lot of our roster has made it to a championship game, and we'll get into that a little bit more. But for Opelika and what they've experienced, kind of an up-and-down season, but we always said if there was a 3-4 team that could be dangerous, it could be Opelika because they've played Auburn tight. They played Central better than anybody had. Next thing you know, they go on the road, they beat Hewitt-Trussville. And that was the upset of the bracket at that point. Then in the semifinal, they have to go to Auburn, and they have to avenge an earlier loss in the season, and they wind up pulling away pretty quickly. So I'm very impressed by the grit and determination of Opelika, but the newness factor, it is going to take some time, if not the whole game, to get used to. And I saw it down on the plaza level earlier.
Matthew, we talked there about Opelika's road here to the Super 7. Let's talk a little bit about the Thompson side of this. The road to the Super 7 has led us here to this moment, one that we do not take for granted. But as predicted, that semifinal stop in Phoenix City proved to be the biggest test of them all so far. Have you been able to catch your breath following the gutsy 35-34 win on the road against that championship caliber opponent?
Thankfully, we've had a little extra time.
That's true.
10 days.
Haven't played quite as much as Class 1A through 6A, just barely. Finally got a chance to catch our breath. What an amazing game.
We had fun.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention how gracious they were as hosts. And I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but one of their coaches on Saturday after the game thanked their head coach for a wonderful season. And I made a comment, and I said to that coach, hey, so much so that he was gracious, spoke with the three of us before the game, and we even stopped a family and talked to them on our way out and told them how gracious they were. The guy that sent the tweet was the family that we stopped and talked to, and it was just unbelievable.
It was
but
cool.
What a great game. And if you Coach Freeman did a couple of interviews this week, and one of the points that he made was, I'd be a lot more nervous if it was 35-14. He said, I really feel like we have their full attention. I think that is incredibly important because I think a lot of people have been telling these guys that was the state championship game. No, it kicks off in about 51 minutes, guys.
That is correct, Brian. When it comes down to it, it was the Thompson defense that was the deciding factor in that massive Central Phoenix City road win. It's been good seeing the star power of this Warriors D getting the attention it deserves, but they remain hungry. And they remain, I would even say, a little angry. Guy playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. The most physical action that I've seen from this defense all year long, right here in the playoffs, which is what you want. This is going to be an important factor yet again in determining tonight's outcome is how this Thompson defense plays.
Well, think about it. You had 2 consecutive home playoff victories in the first round against Carver, the second round against Mary G. Montgomery, and they didn't allow a defensive point.
Correct.
And that is impressive against anybody in a 2-week stretch, let alone 2 playoff caliber teams. So, yeah, you were due for a little bit of a step back or so, especially against an offense like Central Phoenix. But when it was time to make the plays, Junior James being the one that we're always going to remember, DeMonte Tab with 3 interceptions. We're working on our Tab call tonight, by the way. But think about this. I think if I look at it correctly, plus 21 in the turnover margin. Opelika is plus 1. So we're creating turnovers, whether it is fumble recoveries or whether it is those interceptions. DeMonte with 10 on the season, that breaks a Thompson single-season record by Anquan Fagans. So DeMonte has now passed New Boy, which is crazy.
Good company to be a
Oh,
part
it's really good company. So we're
Yeah.
creating these turnovers, and I think that is going to be what poises Opelika's biggest challenge. They've got a good ground game, but when it's time to put the ball in the air in this cold weather, it's going to be difficult to get it past our elite defensive backs.
I was talking to their play-by-play announcer about an hour ago. Their running back has been playing 8-man football.
Oh, yeah.
And then transferred back to Opelika for his senior year. So that's interesting because he's maybe not getting the attention he deserves. One other thing that we saw last week, because we were broadcasting from right in the middle of the Central Phoenix City fan base, there was a defensive hit by one of the Warrior defenders last week that was so loud. As we were in the middle of them, you could hear through
I
the
can tell you
headsets.
who it was. It was
Wow.
Jeremy Allo-Perry,
Yes.
and that is the name that you're going to hear a couple of times tonight, too.
Yes.
But you're right, Matthew. I remember we were just sitting there. The whole wave in front of us just went woo because of that hit.
Yeah.
This defense has been the real deal all season long. Matthew, you spent a lot of valuable time with head coach Mark Freeman all season long at the Buffalo Wild Wings Coaches Show. And while he's purposefully not going to show much emotion until the final whistle, you know better than most that he never takes these championship opportunities for granted.
No, I talked to him a couple of times this week, and his demeanor is fantastic. The servant leadership just oozes from him, and everything was, I'm just praying that these young men enjoy this opportunity, that these young women, the cheerleaders, and the folks in the band, that they really enjoy this opportunity halfway through the season. During that coaches show, one of the things that we talked about was bringing the joy back to the game. I think he's really focused on that this week. Another thing that he said this week, and I found this very interesting, they found that the team was a little bit more hurt by that loss to Grayson than they realized. I think that's going to fuel a lot of energy and focus tonight.
Yep.
Mark Freeman has won 11 state titles, 5 at Thompson, 2 at Spanish Fort, 4 at Bessemer Academy. He can win his 12th in just a few hours. A reminder, if you're looking for the perfect food to pair with football all weekend long, you can get all your favorite Buffalo Wild Wings. Food, sauces, and other favorites for delivery or takeout. Order online or in the app and get your wings fix fast. Brian, when you look closer at this talented Warriors wide receivers unit, 3 different Thompson receivers have 7 touchdown receptions this season. What do you see from this group that you really like going into tonight? Because there's depth there on that side of the ball.
Well, I was asking my son at dinner tonight. I said, if you had to guard a 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right set or such like that, who would you rather take on? Kimbrough? Would you take on Price Lewis? Would you take on Darian Mosley? Oh, by the way, there's Trey Knight. And he was like, I guess I'd take RJ out of the backfield because these guys have the precision route that they need, not just to get open, but more importantly, to get their teammate open. Meaning, if somebody is supposed to run a route that runs a defensive back off or a safety off, they are running that just as hard as if they were going deep for the long seaborne deep sea fishing. So that's what I love is this wide receiver tandem with Trent is so in key with each other and hitting it precisely at the same time. You mentioned some of those stats there, Tim. All 4 of those key receivers, 34 or more catches on the year, 5 touchdowns each, at least 446 yards apiece. I mean, it's just so spread out so nicely. And it was a progression of this game it was Trey Knight, this game it was Darian Mosley, this game it was Price. Dedrick had some great games earlier in the season. He was our player of the game against Grayson. So it's just a wealth of talent that Trent can just pick apart tonight if he wants.
And one thing that I think is important for viewers and listeners that may be joining us for the first time or not quite as often as we would like, maybe explain the deep sea fishing. But I also think that one thing that we'd be remiss if we didn't mention it, young Mr. Billingsley came in and let us off against Central Phoenix. And so, boy, when you talk about a wealth of talent, it's, what is it, an embarrassment of riches?
Well, either he or we did our job because we played up the leak last week after his opening catch to get the scoring going, because on the official program notes that you sent us today, it was like, Trent has wide receivers like Malik Billingsley, and they forgot the other 4 that have been doing more of the stat work. But you're absolutely right. Malik, a young man who was returning kicks at the beginning of the season, got pulled off of that team, then was put in a big third down position in a semifinal game to get the scoring going. And, hey, that was the difference of the game. If we don't have a touchdown, we don't have a win.
Make sure you join us at ThompsonWarriors.org for the call. I certainly hope everyone will be here for the conclusion of the 2025 Warriors campaign. We all care so deeply about the Warriors and the fans, and Kent Farms cares just as deeply about Thompson fans and their pets. So when it comes to your pet's health, don't settle for anything less than a championship team. Kent Farm Animal Hospital brings advanced diagnostics, surgery, and boarding with indoor and outdoor play, all in a modern facility with separate dog and cat areas. Kent Farm Animal Hospital, the championship choice for your pet's care. Swing by 2259 Kent Dairy Road here in Alabaster, or give them a call at 564-5740. We'll be right back with a look at some of the key details going into tonight's 7 p.m. championship game as the Thompson Warriors kick off soon against the Opelika Bulldogs. This is the Lowe's Warrior Game Day Show, presented by Wayne Davis Construction and powered by JP Builders.
At Southeastern Pond Management, our experienced team treats pond management like an art as well as a science. From stocking to electrofishing to weed control and liming, we're here to partner with you and make the most of your property. Since our beginning, we have produced healthy ponds that families have enjoyed for generations. We take pride in getting to know you, understanding your goals, and maximizing your pond's potential. Because, let's be honest, when it is all said and done, life is about the simple things, like enjoying the outdoors with the ones that matter the most. So let us take care of the rest. Southeastern Pond Management, managing your liquid assets since 1989.
Kelsey, what up?
I think I messed up, Hank. I don't think I can walk away from football.
Say less. I got you. Jason Daniel Kelsey, welcome back to football.
This is a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Exactly. Where you watch all the games while stuffing your face with, like, the greatest wings.
So good.
And all the beer.
There we go. Let's go.
See? B-Dubs is football.
It's football.
It's football. Let's go, Sports Bar.
I'm Dr. Michael Patterson. I'm the team physician for Thompson Warriors. This will be my 16th year on the sideline, and we're excited about the upcoming season. I'm also excited to be partnering with Baptist Health as Baptist Health Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. We continue to provide state-of-the-art sports medicine and orthopedics and return our athletes in a safe and timely manner. We understand the importance of early evaluation and returning our patients back to their active lifestyle. Go Warriors!
Welcome back into Birmingham as we're getting ready for the final showdown of the Thompson Warriors 2025 AHSAA playoff run. While tonight we are here in the booth at Protective Stadium, we want to thank you for joining us earlier this year in the Full Moon Tailgate Plaza on the campus of Thompson High School. Football and barbecue go hand in hand, and nobody does it better than Full Moon Barbecue. From tailgate catering to wings and ribs and all your barbecue favorites, Full Moon has everything you need for game day. Bring the flavor to your tailgate or watch party with Full Moon Barbecue. Matthew, the drive I've witnessed in this Thompson team this year, they've taken some hits, they've had some heartbreak, but they never stay down on the mat. They fight and they fight and they fight. You have to believe that that true warrior mentality we've seen all year is one that's going to benefit this bunch from Alabaster here tonight.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I had a chance to talk to Coach about, and he looks at each one of those 3 games that didn't go our way as that learning opportunity. All of us had a chance to speak with him when he said, it gives us an opportunity to have that video. He wants video of really good players opposite our really good players. It gives them an opportunity to look at our tendencies, to see if there's things that we need to work on. And so, yeah, that has really helped them a lot. Understanding what it takes to overcome a defeat and then continue to be successful, to pick yourself up off that mat and perform at an even higher level the next week, it just continues to benefit this team.
Let's take a look at some of the weather conditions. It's currently 40 degrees, and you feel all of that here at Protective Stadium. Clear skies above, though, and that is a good thing. The atmosphere here tonight will continue building as the Warriors are getting ready to try and once again conquer the mountain of the AHSAA state playoffs, and there's a lot of football to discuss here all night long with Warrior Nation Network color analyst Brian Pavlik. When you look more closely at the matchup against the Bulldogs tonight, what are some of the numbers that have jumped off the page at you?
Well, one of the things was number 9. I said Malik. It's Makai Billingsley, so that's my fault. You're my boy, Makai. You know that. But, I got excited because it's my first championship game, too. So
and they're both wonderful young men.
Absolutely. But here's the thing, and I want to focus on 2 kind of obscure areas, and that is what I'm going to call the powerful 5. and that is your offensive line. Now, if you remember way back in mid-August, one of the question marks, probably the only question mark you had about this team, was how is the offensive line going to be? Because it only returned one player who was on the starting line from the previous year's championship team. That's Parker Middlestat. Well, now you've got a rebuilt offensive line. You've lost your center. You've got guards. You've got tackles coming in, going, all these things. And even though that line has been reshuffled many times in season, they have gelled wonderfully. So one of the stats that I will look at tonight is just how many hurries, how many quarterback sacks, how many times is Trent under pressure, but then yards rushing. You have to, at some point, still run the ball. Even in a championship game, you have to enforce that. The line is going to be key to that. So one of my stats is just looking at those powerful five. How are they going to do? The other stat, I want to see if we can get a 20-second Warrior to score a point, meaning we're probably going to get it on a defensive turnover. So who's out there that could still get one? Cam showed his explosive speed back, I believe, in the Carver game, picking up a fumble, stiff-arming a guy and trying to make his way. Are you going to have Jeremy Allo-Perry? Are you going to have Chauncey? Can you create points off of a turnover? That will be fun to watch as well. It might happen, guys.
It is going to be a lot of fun watching this one. Matthew, for Thompson, even though they are noted as the away team, it's such a luxury to be playing this game so close to home. The Warrior faithful will be here in droves tonight to root on their squad.
Yes, they will.
As many in the community find it to be a yearly tradition to celebrate Thanksgiving, then decorate for the holidays, then they end up doing some shopping, and then next thing you know, they're heading to another state championship appearance. It's been a blessing.
It's incredible, and yes, they will do their level best to fill a very large protective stadium tonight. Last one out of Alabaster. Turn out the lights if you wouldn't mind. Somebody leave a little bit early so that these young men and women can have something to eat when they get home.
That's right.
Yeah, these fans have been fantastic. We had the distinct pleasure of watching them from Central Phoenix, and they filled that other side. You get the band in there, and then the way that our fans travel, and Protective Stadium is starting to feel like a home game. They're getting used to how do I find the restrooms and where can I find something good to eat and what's the best place to park. Starting to feel like a home game.
You know who
and
was
that's
the
a good
best
thing.
usher of downtown Birmingham about an hour ago? Pam Vickers. She was directing traffic, telling people this is where you go and all that. I told Miss Pam, I said, there's a difference between us being confident and there's a difference between us being like know-it-alls, but she found joy. We talk about the joy word. She found joy in it because, again, like you said, Matthew, we've been here before. But that cannot be our excuse for coming out flat, lazy, or anything like that. And I think our fans are just as hungry as anybody else, as I saw at the Warrior Walk just about an hour or so ago.
And Mrs. Vickers knows behind every good man is a great woman, and she is a perfect example.
Absolutely.
Brian, in just a few moments, junior quarterback Trent Seaborn will now have suited up for 4 straight state title games. And while maybe those who don't know the junior quarterback story will question my math on this, help out those who are maybe tuning in for the very first time by telling us a little bit more about number 12 and how he secured so much championship experience.
A lot of people will say, well, of course you're a state championship winning. You got this quarterback that came in from whatever. The kid came over late 6th grade or early 7th grade. There was no way that we knew he was going to develop, stay injury-free, God bless, and everything else. He has just developed into not only a great prolific quarterback, but a leader, a community citizen who gives back and knows who brought him here. So that, number one, is who you're going to get off the field. But tonight, what you're going to see on the field is, like you said, incredibly, a kid that's been in his 4th state championship in a row. He really burst onto the scene as an 8th grader. You can Google Trent Seaborn 8th grade, and you will find articles from anything from ESPN to CBS to anything locally that says the kid threw 5 touchdown passes as an 8th grader. I was wearing a Three Stooges tie to a junior high dance. He's throwing 5 touchdowns in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Right, it doesn't. But what you're going to get is a stud quarterback. You're going to get a leader. You're going to get a kid that's about 180 yards passing away from 10,000 in his career. We were so excited about the Central game. He hit 100 career touchdown passes in that game. We just completely glossed over it because his stats just amaze us. His talent. You're going to see deep sea fishing. Tim's probably going to call it. It's going to be when he throws the long one. But the Seaborn special is when he rolls out and hits somebody with a foot to go on that sideline. That is my favorite Trent Seaborn play.
Seaborn has started 44 consecutive games, including the last 3 state title games. For a comparison, Opelika sophomore Whit Cooper is playing quarterback for the Bulldogs in his 11th game.
Yeah.
So definitely the experience goes on the side of
absolutely.
Seaborn there. We're proud to call Thompson home, which leads us to remind you that if you're looking for a great round of golf or a new club to call home, Timberline Golf Club of Calera has you covered. As an award-winning course at a reasonable price, Timberline offers something for every golfer, plus a state-of-the-art TrackMan driving range to sharpen your game. Call or visit timberlinegc.com and book your tee time today. Matthew, it's about time to get you ready to go put on those final touches for tonight's game broadcast, which can be found at thompsonwarriors.org. If I may ask, what does it personally mean to you to be able to be in this spot you're in tonight, chronicling the final chapter of this 2025 season as the voice of the Warriors?
Well, the foundation was built by Mr. Young, and you guys know how I feel about that. It's an incredible honor to have the relationship development with Coach Freeman and that coaching staff. I love them, and I wish more people knew them personally. They are fantastic, but it's you two guys that make this what it is. I love working with both of you. Congratulations on your first championship game.
Thank you, buddy.
Congratulations on 5 or 6.
This is number 3 for
Number
me.
3 for you. I mean, a charmed life is really the only way to describe the fact that we have the honor of being the voice of the Warriors. There isn't one, there's 3. And, personally, when the 3 of us are together, we talk about 1 + 1 + 1 = 1. And that's what it is. It's an honor that it's one of those things. I travel a lot. I get to spend a lot of highway time. I think about it a lot, and I pinch myself because it is an incredible blessing.
Well, we are honored to have you on this call here tonight with a full voice. Yes. We'll be right back here on the Lowe's Warrior Game Day Show, presented by Wayne Davis Construction and powered by JP Builders.
At Southeastern Pond Management.
I'm Dr. Michael Patterson, I'm the team physician for Thompson Warriors. This will be my 16th year on the sideline, and we're excited about the upcoming season.
Ladies, are
I'm
you
also
looking for
excited
casual and
to be
cute
partnering with
outfits,
Baptist Health.
accessories, or
As
the
Baptist
newest
Health
fashion trends? Potos has you covered. Follow us at Potos Boutique on Facebook and Instagram, or stop by our store on Highway 31 in Calera.
Chick-fil-A, the inventor of the chicken sandwich, has reinvented breakfast. The new Egg White Grill has citrus grilled chicken, fresh egg whites, and American cheese, all served on a toasted multi-grain English muffin. Chicken for breakfast. It's not as crazy as you think. Chick-fil-A, a proud partner of the Thompson Warriors.
Rated by Golf Week magazine as one of Alabama's top 10 courses, Timberline Golf Club, located just minutes from Birmingham in Calera, is the perfect place to play. Timberline is the perfect place for a golf outing for your business or charity, and a wonderful club to make it your home course. Tee it up at Timberline, and you'll want to return time and time again. To book a round or for membership, visit them at timberlinegc.com. It's my home course, and it should be yours too.
Welcome back in. We're winding down the hour, getting you ready for kickoff here at Protective Stadium. Make sure you join us on the broadcast at thompsonwarriors.org. But first, a reminder, is it about time for a home or office carpet cleaning? Maybe you're looking for that perfect deep carpet clean or just a quick refresh. Look no further than Steamworks, a proud sponsor of Thompson Athletics. Fast, reliable, and affordable with no hidden fees or upsells. All cleanings also include pre-spray and deodorizer. Call Steamworks at 205-365-1908 and get those carpets ready for the big game. It's now time for the Pavlik three-point stance. We start out with pointing out a player that Thompson's going to have to contend with tonight over on the Opelika Bulldogs side.
And that's going to be their running back, number 3, the senior C.J. Johnson, 6'1", 270 pounds, averaging about 73 rushing yards per game. He only needs 56 for 1,000 for the season. He could get that if he breaks a big one tonight, Tim.
Got to stop him. That is the key. Now we point out a player on the Warriors defense that's looking to limit the production of the senior running back.
And thank you. So let's go with the North Carolina commit, Ami Moala, 6'3", 355. I saw him at the pregame. A lot of guys were wearing business suits. A lot of guys were just wearing athletic gear. He was wearing authentic Tongan traditional wear. He looked great. he looks like he's going to be on fire tonight.
And finally, fans love the points. That leads us to the third player to point out that is hopefully set to put up some points on the board here in the Magic City.
Well, you know what? Why not? He did it this time, this place, this night last year. Let's go with Darian Mosley one more time. Now, with over 1,000 in the season, only needs 183 yards for 2,000 in his career. Only a junior. He is the reigning state MVP. Could he be a two-time tonight? Ooh, how do we tease that? Find out tonight.
And there we have the very latest Pavlik three-point stance. I've enjoyed this
Last
all
of the
season long.
Thank you, bud. That was good.
For Brian and for Matthew, I'm Tim Melton, and that's going to do it for us tonight during this portion of the show. As we've been broadcasting live here at Protective Stadium in Birmingham, we'd like to thank our executive producer, Griffin Knight, all season long for his work throughout the year here on the Tailgate Show. We want you to join us now on the Warrior Nation Network for the final round of postseason play, as we've been proud to bring you this final 2025 edition of the Lowe's Warrior Game Day Show, presented by Wayne Davis Construction and powered by JP Builders. Go Warriors!